Ladies and gentlemen, broken hearts and wounded souls, gather close. Today, we're not just addressing love, betrayal, or the games people play. Today, we're talking about something far more potent: your power. The kind of power that makes them uneasy, makes them resent you, and forces them to confront their own desperation. They tried everything, didn't they? Threw everything they had your way, pressed every button, pulled every string, hoping for a reaction, believing they could manipulate you. But what they didn't know, what they could never understand, was that you were far too sharp, too damn smart to fall for their tricks. You didn't give them what they craved, did you? Oh, they waited. They anticipated the tears, the anger, the screaming. They longed for your breakdown, thinking it would justify their selfishness and cruelty. If they could just make you snap, it would prove they still had a grip on you, that they still mattered. But guess what? You didn't break, you didn't crumble, you didn't even flinch. And oh, how that burned them. People like that, they thrive on chaos, needing the storm to feel alive. They stir up drama just to watch you drown. But you stayed calm. You stayed quiet. You stood your ground. And in that silence, you spoke louder than any words could. Your silence cut deeper than anything they threw at you, because it was a testament you weren't their puppet, their plaything, their victim anymore. Now, they're left with nothing but the wreckage of their own mess, the empty games they played, and the cold realization that they've lost control. They expected an outburst, a plea, a desperate need for closure. But instead, you gave them indifference, the most powerful response of all. Indifference says more than any argument ever could. It says, you no longer have power over me. You don't matter enough to hurt me. They never saw that coming. They didn't expect you to be stronger, to see through their lies, their petty tactics. They didn't expect you to outgrow their games, but you did. Now, they're scrambling, wondering why their manipulations no longer work, why you didn't fall into the same traps you once did. Isn't it funny how the tables have turned? They once felt powerful, in control, pulling the strings. Now they're the ones desperate for your attention. They used to be the center of your world, but now they're nothing more than a faint memory, a ghost haunting the edges of your mind, a reminder of what you've left behind. And that, my friends, is what they can't stand. The truth is, they needed you more than you ever needed them. They fed off your energy, your love, your attention. But when you stopped playing their game, they lost their grip. They hate it. Oh, how they hate it. They tried so hard to provoke you, to pull you back into the drama. But you were too wise for that. You saw the mask they wore, the insecurity, the fear, and once you saw that, the game was over. People like them feed on your emotions. They need your energy like parasites. But when you cut off that supply, they begin to wither, becoming hollow and empty. Now they wake up every day hoping, praying that today will be the day you crack, that you'll finally give them the reaction they've been waiting for. But day after day you stay silent, and that silence, it drives them mad. They thought they could push you to the edge, trap you in their web, but you slipped through their fingers, didn't you? You walked away without a word, without looking back, and that is what's destroying them now. Silence is your loudest weapon. It screams, I don't need you. I'm done with you. I'm better without you, and the beauty of it. They can't argue with silence. They can't twist it, manipulate it, or turn it into something it's not. They're left to sit with it, let it consume them, and that's exactly what's happening. While you've moved on, reclaiming your peace, they're stuck in the same vicious cycle, wondering why they couldn't break you. Why didn't their tricks work this time? Why aren't you begging for closure, for explanations, for a shred of acknowledgement? But here's the truth: you don't need their closure. You don't need their validation, because you've already won. The moment you chose peace over drama, silence over reaction, you reclaimed your power. You showed them that you were not to be manipulated, not to be played with, not to be used as a pawn in their twisted little game. Now, they have nothing but the realization that they will never, ever get the reaction they wanted from you. They'll never have the satisfaction of knowing they broke you, because you're too smart, too strong for that. They expected you to crumble, to fall apart under the weight of their games. But you're built to last. That terrifies them, because they know deep down they will never control you. They will never win. And that's what this has always been about, hasn't it? Winning, control, power. They thought they could strip you of yours, twist your emotions, manipulate your actions. But you showed them who's really in control. Now they're trapped in their own web, lost in their lies and schemes, while you walk away free, unbothered, untouched by their nonsense. That, my friends, is the ultimate victory. That is the sweetest revenge. So the next time they try to pull you back into the drama, remember this: silence is your greatest weapon, and indifference is their greatest punishment. They can't fight what they can't see. They can't argue with what they can't hear. And they sure as hell can't win a game you're no longer playing. But here's the twist they never saw coming: your growth. While they were busy plotting and scheming, you were evolving. You turned their negativity into fuel for your own journey. Now they watch you, maybe from afar, maybe through the filtered lens of social media, and they can't believe what they see. There you are, living your best life, unaffected by their absence, thriving in ways they can't even comprehend. Every step you take forward is a reminder of how little you needed them, how insignificant their games really were. Others see it too. People notice your strength, your confidence, your unshakable sense of self, and they're drawn to it. New doors are opening for you, new friendships, new love, new adventures, because you refuse to be held back by someone else's pettiness. Meanwhile, they're stuck, spinning in the same circles, wondering why their old tactics aren't working anymore. When you don't react, you force them to confront themselves. Without someone to manipulate, they're left with their own insecurities, their own flaws. And that's something they can't handle. They might try to find a new target, someone else to pull into their games, but deep down, they know the truth. The problem was never you. It was always them. Let them wrestle with that. Let them live with the consequences of their own actions. You tried to help them, gave them more chances than they deserved, and every time they threw it back in your face, well, not anymore. You've reclaimed your story and their character. It doesn't make the cut. You're done with the drama, the toxicity, the endless games. You've chosen peace over chaos, self-love over their hollow validations. And that choice, it's the most powerful statement you could ever make. In the end, they'll realize you were the one who got away, the one who saw through their facade and refused to engage. They'll understand that their inability to provoke you wasn't your failure, it was your triumph. And maybe, just maybe, they'll learn from it. But even if they don't, that's not your concern. You've got better things ahead: genuine connections, real emotions, and a life free from their manipulative games. You've shed the weight that was holding you back, and now you're free to soar higher than ever before. So keep moving forward. Keep embracing the silence that speaks louder than words. Keep being too smart for their games, because you deserve a life as extraordinary as you are. And them. They'll just have to watch from the sidelines, knowing they played themselves out of the best thing they ever had. And as you continue to rise, let this be a reminder: their greatest mistake was underestimating you. They thought they knew you inside and out, thought they had you figured out, but they never saw your true strength. They never anticipated your ability to evolve, to break free from their grip without a second thought. They believed that you, like everyone else they'd ensnared before, would remain trapped in their web, tangled in their lies. But you were never like the rest. You were always different, stronger, smarter, more resilient. You see, people like that, they operate on fear. Fear of being exposed, fear of being left behind, fear of facing the truth about who they are. They create chaos because it's the only way they can distract themselves from their own emptiness. They need you, or at least they needed who they thought you were. They needed someone to control, someone to feed their ego, someone to validate their twisted sense of power. But when you walked away, when you reclaimed your power without a word, it shattered their delusions. They never expected you to choose peace over their drama. They never thought you'd be the one to leave them in the ruins of their own making. But now they have no choice but to sit in the silence you left behind, a silence that echoes with the truth they can no longer avoid. They were never as powerful as they thought. You were never as weak as they hoped. As you continue on your path, stronger than ever, they'll watch from the shadows. They'll keep waiting, hoping for a moment of weakness, a sign that maybe, just maybe, you'll turn back. But you won't. Because you've seen the truth. You've seen the difference between real strength and false bravado. You've seen that their power was never real. Just an illusion they created, one that crumbled the moment you stopped playing their game. Let them sit in that realization. Let them stew in their own disappointment. It's not your burden to carry anymore. You've outgrown their world, their petty games, their hollow validation. You've stepped into something far greater, a life defined by your own terms, a life where your energy is no longer wasted on those who don't deserve it. And here's the most beautiful part: the more you rise, the more they'll feel the weight of their loss. They'll see your happiness, your peace, your success, and it will haunt them. Not because they miss you, not because they care about you, but because they miss what you gave them. They miss the power they thought they had over you. They miss the attention, the energy, the validation that came with being the center of your world. But now, your world is so much bigger. Now, your energy is invested in people who see your worth, in opportunities that align with your true self, in experiences that nourish your soul. You're thriving, not despite their absence, but because of it. You shed the weight of their manipulation, and now you're free to soar. Remember this: your silence isn't just a refusal to engage. It's a declaration of independence. It's a statement that says, I don't need you. I never did. And that truth, it's more devastating than any argument, any confrontation, any dramatic showdown they were hoping for. Because it shows them that their games were never as powerful as they thought. So let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them obsess over what they could have done differently, what might have worked, what could have kept you tangled in their web. Let them live in the regret of their own making. It's no longer your concern. You've moved on, and in doing so, you've left them in a prison of their own design, a prison built from insecurity, lies, and manipulation. You've reclaimed your power, and now the only person who holds the key to your happiness is you. So keep walking forward. Keep choosing peace. Keep living your life unapologetically, because every step you take away from their chaos is a step toward the extraordinary life you're meant to live. And when you look back, not in regret, but in triumph, remember they didn't lose you. You set yourself free, and there's no power greater than that.